Okay, good night, everyone. Coming to this debate session. For today's debate session, we have two teams, the government and opposition team. Today's debate will raise the topic of homework. And the motion is, shouldn't homework be banned? The members from the government team are Rasuna Saidina as the first speaker, Nur Triana as the second speaker, Raina Hazlin as the third speaker. And the other side from the opposition team are Novita Nur Istiqomah as the first speaker, Vicky Andrian as the second speaker, and Rita Safira as the third speaker. Each speakers will explain their argument in 3 minutes. In the first minutes of every speech, the speaker from the other side have the opportunity to over the question by raise your hand and say POI. You have 15 seconds to deliver your question. After all of the speakers from two teams already explained the argument, we have replaced speech with 2 minutes from the opposition team and continue to the government team. Let's begin our debate session today. Start from the government team. For first speaker of government team, time is yours.
Thanks to the Honorable Moderator for giving me the chance. My name is Rasuna Radinatma as a first speaker from government team. Let me come to my first argument. Giving homework is something commonplace in the field of education, both in terms of elementary school, junior high school, and almost every student is provided with homework from school. The main purpose of the teacher giving homework is to hone and measure students' abilities towards the material that has been taught in class. The homework given by the teacher will not be much different from what the teacher has taught in class. In addition, the homework given by the teacher also has another good purpose, which is to make children more active in learning. Indirectly, by doing homework, the children will repeat the lesson they received at school. In fact, almost all students today prefer playing smartphones, watching YouTube, games, and others, rather than reading books. By providing additional work at home, it is hoped that students will have a greater sense of responsibility and also reduce their addiction to playing gadgets, which currently unfortunately leads to more negative. After that, there is feedback given by teacher to students, which can be in the form of paying attention to each student by asking which question can be easily done in, and which ones they have not mastered, or giving notes to students regarding things that need to be corrected, and also not about the section in which the students have done well. Feedback is useful to help students find out their mistakes and then correct them, and also to make students know their strengths so that they make students more confident. In conclusion, homework is really important to give to the students because it will help students to learn again about the material that has been explained and keep students from forgetting what they have learned. That's all from me. Thank you. Back to the moderator.
Okay, thank you for your argument. Now we're going to the first speaker of opposition team. For the first speaker of opposition team, time is yours.
The moderator for giving me the change. I'm the first speaker of the opposite team. This is not Novita Istiqomah before you speaking for a topic about homework. I have 3 points here. First, homework is little educational work and adds nothing to the time spent in school. Some school in some countries do not bother with homework at all. We can take from Finland, for example, that has no homework and has one of the world's highest education system, and their results seem to suffer from didn't have a homework. Studies show that homework in elementary school hasn't been known to lead to better achievement in school, and too much homework in the higher grades can lead to worsening grades and increased mental and physical issues. And the second point, homework is almost always done when a child is already tired from a long day at school. There is nothing worse than having to put in long hours after your workday is over. This is how many kids feel when they have come home from school, having to complete hours of homework. While many kids have support and resources at home, some students are stuck at home with little or no support and have to fend for themselves, leading to frustration and stress. While still, students have been up late trying to finish off their homework, then come tired into school the next day, also least ready to learn. So what's the point? My third, also the last point, setting homework does little to develop study skills. Teacher assign homework to help students learn more about a given subject. Students are then expected to go home, complete this homework independently, and learn from the experience, but it's hard to tell whether the homework students produce is really their own. Some students have always copied of others or got the parents are either partially or fully completing the work because they do not want to see their children fail. Also, today there is so much material available on the internet that teachers can never be sure. It will be better to have a mixture of activities in the classroom, which helps students to develop a whole range of skills, including independent learning, rather than giving a lot of homework, which can cause stress. Okay, I think that's all from me. I will return back to the moderator. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for your argument. Now we're going to the second speaker. Oh yeah. Now we're going to the second speaker of government team. For the second speaker of government team, time is yours.
Thank you to the moderator for the time. So I'm Nutriana Putri as the second speaker of government team. Based on trends in international mathematics and science, or TIMS, have conducted a survey in 27 states at US and 37 in other countries. The results show there is little relationship between the homework and student achievements. But even just a little, homework has impact. It has benefit to student. Why? Because quote from Directorate of Elementary and Educational, Ministry of Education and Culture, homework is one of the instrument that teacher use in learning process, which is had purpose to increase student understanding of the material being studied and practicing the responsibility of student about tasks that teacher given to them. And I think homework makes student can practicing and learning in unlimited time at home. It means they can explore more knowledge and information, of course, with parents monitoring who have contributed to help and teach their children when they're learning at home. And doing homework also can uh, build student learning habit, and that will help student to face the future. For example, it can encourage student readiness to face the world of work, where we will definitely find to have responsibility and face the deadline, and also have to solving the problem at the workplace. So I think homework must still exist. Enough from me. Back to the moderator. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for your argument. Now we're having the second speaker of opposition team. For the opposition team, time is yours.
Okay, thank you, moderator. My name is Ricky Andrian as the second speaker of the opposition team. So my opinion is homework can have a negative impact on student mental health. The heavy workload and constant pressure to complete assignment can lead to increased stress and anxiety. Students often have little time for relaxation, hobbies, and socializing, which can result in burnout and feelings of overwhelm. Additionally, homework can disrupt the balance between school and personal life, leaving students with less time for self-care, exercise, and sleep. This can lead to fatigue, reduce focus, and weaken mental resilience. The frustration and anxiety associated with homework can also harm students' self-esteem and confidence. Struggling to complete assignment or achieve desired grades can make them feel inadequate. To prioritize student mental health, it is important to consider the purpose and effectiveness of homework. We must explore alternative approaches that promote active learning, personalized instruction, and overall well-being can create a more supportive and healthy educational environment. In conclusion, homework can negatively impact student mental health and necessitating a re-evaluation of its purpose and effectiveness. And yeah, I think that's all from me. Back to the moderator. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for your argument. Now we're going to the third speaker of government team. For the third speaker of government team, time is yours.
Thank you to the moderator. I'm Reina Haslan as a third speaker, and I will talk about why I feel today's debate motion. In this era of globalization, children are starting to get to know gadgets even before they are starting school. Often, I see parents make gadgets as friends for their children without any supervision. Back to the topic. What will happen if even educators don't control their students? Therefore, I think that having homework can be a way for adults to supervise children. This may sound like a negative thing, but I don't think so. With homework, students are forced to complete their assignment as well as gain new knowledge from what they find in the process of finding answer from their homework. Apart from that, homework can also be used as a tool where teachers can measure students' abilities towards the material that has been taught at school. Another thing that makes me support homework is that it can reduce the bad habits of students who are addicted to using gadgets. That even parents cannot or are reluctant to control because they are also addicted to using gadgets. I'm sure guys must have seen at least once where a lot of group of students who were still wearing their uniforms were hanging out at the wrong time, like late at night. Or have you ever heard of clashes between schools that often result in fatalities, right? But this will be different if the student has the motivation to learn. They will definitely to busy studying on their own initiative to continue school to college. It could be because they feel free and are not burdened with homework. So students who don't have motivation to study will choose to play with their friends. I honestly think there will be a lot of bad things that could possibly happen if the government remove the homework system. Previously, I would like to reiterate that the homework given by the teacher must be in accordance with the abilities of the student and in accordance with the material that has been delivered by the teacher. Teachers themselves also may not make homework as an excuse for being lazy to teach because after all of the role of the teacher is far more important than homework because homework is just an addition so that they can train students to be responsible and manage their time. Based on my personal experience, I like it when the teacher gives homework with notes that the assignment is in accordance with the material provided. The reason behind this statement is because I can focus more on studying the material in a quieter place. For the example, if the teacher gives a summarizing test, I can learn about the material compared to if I have to do it in a noisy class. That's enough from me. Back to the moderator.
Okay, thank you for your argument. Now we're having the third speaker of opposition team. For the third speaker of opposition team, time is yours.
Thank you, moderator. My name is Sita Safira. I'm the third speaker of the opposition team. I will give my argument. Without homework, students expect to have more time to play with friends and rest. This is also in line with the expectation of parents who want their children to have time to rest, chat with family, or just relax together at home. Because they feel too much burden and do not enjoy doing homework at home, students often end up cheating on their assignment, and it is not uncommon for parents to even do the assignment for their children for various reasons and purpose. Homework will make children spend their time only doing homework rather than doing other activities. As a result, it will reduce children's time to be with parents and interact with the environment because their time is spent doing homework. Above all, homework needs to be given to students because it helps their learning process. However, giving homework should not spend children's time doing other activities. Homework itself now invites a lot of polemics. This is based on many parties who are still government of this, but not a few who are against it. This is due to some people who think that homework will be effective if it is adjusted to uh, the time available with the amount of homework given. Many people with that student also need time to rest and relax while they are at home. Meanwhile, if there are many homework assignments given, it will indirectly make students bored with lesson according to those who are against this. The increase in school learning hours is also considered as a basis that homework should not longer be given because the amount they study is far compared to their resting time and time to relax. I think that's all for me. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for your argument. Now we're going to have the reply speech section. So each teams have 2 minutes to give the reply section from all of the argument. So let's start from the opposition team. For the opposition team, time is yours.
Thank you. I will give my reply speech. Homework can negatively impact student mental health, necessitating a evaluation of its purpose and effectiveness. Homework only has little educational work and adds nothing to the time spent in school. Homework is almost always done when a child is already tired from a long day at school. Students who have been up late trying to finish off their homework then come tired into school the next day, also less ready to learn. Setting homework does little to develop study skill because they feel too much burden and do not enjoy homework at home. Students often end cheating on their assignment, and it is not uncommon for parents to even do the assignment of the children or for various reason and purpose. Uh, However, giving homework should not spend children's time doing other activities. I think that's all for me. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for your reply speech. Now it's the government team turn to give the reply speech. For the government team, time is yours.
Thank you to the moderator. I think it's the time for me to give the reply speech. So the homework must remain with the aim of helping students improve their abilities, independence, responsibility, and make students practice solving solutions from what they learn, not just bordering students without a good impact. In addition, homework is also expected to help students learn to be responsible with their assignments and train students to manage the time. Because they can minimize wasting time playing outside the home if there is no homework. That's enough from me. Back to the moderator.
Okay, thank you for your reply speech. I think that's all for our today's debate. Perhaps our debate give all of us more knowledge than before. So let's over this debate with Hamdallah.
Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin.
Okay, I'll the moderator. Today's debate officially closed. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.